For 4 complete rounds, NFL franchises allowed Shedeur Sanders to sit and watch as quarterback after quarterback was taken before him. Names like Dillon Gabriel and Tyler Shaw, players many casual fans would struggle to identify. Yet just a few months later, whispers are surfacing from Cleveland that this so-called 5th-round throwaway could be on the cusp of pulling off one of the most stunning upsets in recent NFL history. Before we dive deeper, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of this unfolding QB drama. The Browns already have an $18 million veteran quarterback on the books, but insiders claim head coach Kevin Stefanski might have stumbled onto a diamond in the rough. What happens when the most dismissed passer in the draft starts proving he belongs in the starting conversation? What happens when a young man with a chip the size of a helmet finally gets the chance to silence every doubter who questioned him? What's unfolding in Cleveland could either transform into one of the greatest draft steal tales ever told, or slide into yet another dismal chapter in the Browns' long, painful history with quarterbacks. And honestly, it's beginning to feel like it might be the former. On draft day, Sanders, who threw for over 3,200 yards at Colorado and earned glowing praise from NFL scouts for his arm talent and football IQ, waited patiently through 4 full rounds as teams selected quarterbacks who, by many measures, didn't match his skill set. 4 separate times, organizations passed him by. And you know what ESPN's Riddick had to say about it? He stressed that Sanders must earn the right for Stefanski and his staff to give him more meaningful reps with the first and second units, not just in walkthroughs or 7-on-7 work, but in full team periods and actual preseason games. Only then, Riddick explained, could they accurately determine what they truly have in him compared to Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and Joe Flacco. Without those opportunities, the narrative would continue revolving around whether Sanders was overhyped, not athletic enough, or lacking arm strength, a narrative Riddick flatly rejects. Riddick went even further, declaring that the league has never seen a situation quite like this. A quarterback with Sanders' pedigree, physical gifts, and mental acuity falling all the way to the 5th round. Then Stephen A. Smith took things to another level, blasting the fact that Sanders was drafted behind Gabriel and Shaw, going so far as to label it collusion, a word guaranteed to make NFL front offices squirm. Smith reminded everyone that Sanders is football royalty, having been prepared for this moment virtually his entire life. Yet somehow 31 teams passed on him multiple times. In the 5th round, the Browns saw what others either missed or lacked the courage to act upon. In the background, Stefanski now faces a set of choices that could ripple through the entire league. Sanders still needs to prove himself in live-action situations, but Riddick emphasized that if he gets enough legitimate snaps, he could ignite a conversation that no one anticipated. In fact, Riddick didn't hesitate to predict that Sanders might throw the football as well, if not better, than Flacco, Pickett, or Gabriel. Think about the weight of that statement. A 5th-round rookie potentially outshining an $18 million veteran. Some analysts have even circled Week 7 on their calendars, speculating that it could be the moment when the Browns consider a quarterback change. Riddick's position is clear. If Sanders receives enough meaningful reps before then, the decision might not be up for polite discussion. It could become a matter of necessity. A rookie outperforming a veteran starter mid-season isn't unheard of in the NFL, but it's rare enough to send shockwaves when it happens, especially in a city like Cleveland, where quarterback turnover has become almost a tradition. Naturally, Sanders will face his share of obstacles. Skeptics are ready to question whether he's overhyped or lacking in top-tier athleticism. But Cleveland's quarterback room might actually work in his favor. Flacco, while a respected Super Bowl champion, is more of a bridge quarterback at this stage of his career. Pickett is still trying to solidify himself as a consistent starter in the league. Gabriel, though talented, remains entirely untested at the NFL level. This mixture could form the perfect storm for a late-round prospect to make a run at the job. Yet there's a real logistical hurdle. Stefanski must juggle reps among 4 quarterbacks during training camp, which inherently limits how many full-speed opportunities Sanders will get. This is why Stephen A.'s collusion claim resonates with some observers, because if Sanders was overlooked for reasons that have nothing to do with his game film or measurable skills, then the Browns may have just orchestrated the steal of the decade without even realizing how big the payoff might be. Sanders brings more than just physical tools to the table. He has every intangible that coaches covet. His football IQ is advanced for a rookie, his poise under pressure is evident in every practice rep, and his arm talent is paired with perhaps the league's largest chip on his shoulder. For him, this battle isn't simply about earning a roster spot. It's about proving that 31 other franchises miscalculated, misread, or flat out underestimated his potential. If Riddick's belief holds true and Sanders earns those critical snaps, this could quickly transform into one of the most surprising quarterback developments of the past decade. A fifth-round pick who forces his way into the starting lineup by mid-season. Imagine the optics. Cleveland, a franchise often used as a punchline in quarterback discussions, suddenly finding its long-term leader in the one place no one thought to look. The upcoming weeks are poised to be decisive. Training camp sessions, preseason appearances, even routine practice periods will be under a magnifying glass. For Sanders, every rep is currency. Each throw is a deposit into the credibility bank he needs to spend when it's time for Stefanski to make a decision. Should he start making passes Flacco can't deliver anymore, the pressure on the coaching staff will mount rapidly. For Stefanski, the choice could define his tenure in Cleveland. Remain loyal to the proven veteran, or take a calculated gamble on a rookie with high upside and a famous last name. The stakes are enormous, not only for the franchise's win-loss record this season, but for its trajectory over the next several years. In the NFL, where quarterback instability can sink even the most talented rosters, finding the right player at the position is the difference between playoff contention and perpetual rebuilding. My prediction? Sanders will take advantage of every opportunity. He'll make enough throws that turn heads in practice, enough reads that impress in the film room, and enough plays in preseason games to force the Browns to rethink their quarterback depth chart. By week 7, Cleveland's conversation about its starter may sound very different from the one happening now. Because in the NFL, one truth always rises above the noise. Talent wins. And if Sanders truly has what evaluators insist he does, the Browns may have stumbled into their franchise quarterback at a bargain bin draft price. The real question, though, isn't whether Sanders can play. It's whether he'll be given the platform to prove it when the stakes are high. From the whispers coming out of camp, that platform could appear sooner than expected. If that happens, the Browns will either look like geniuses who exploited the league's collective blind spot, or they'll have to explain why the hype didn't translate when the lights came on. This isn't just a story about a young quarterback trying to make it. It's about the psychology of evaluation in professional sports, the politics of roster decisions, and the undercurrent of risk that runs through every NFL season. For Cleveland fans, long conditioned to expect heartbreak, the idea of a fifth-round rookie becoming the answer under center feels almost too good to believe. But sometimes, in this league, the unbelievable happens. So what's your take? Did the Browns unearth pure gold in Shedeur Sanders, or is this just summer smoke destined to fade? Are we watching the birth of the NFL's next great draft steal legend, or the setup for another chapter in Cleveland's quarterback saga that ends in disappointment? Whatever the outcome, one thing is clear. The Browns' 2025 season just got a whole lot more interesting. So don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin.